Good morning everybody, my name is Rose. So it's 8 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday and I really want to get on with some of this blocking animation. I've only got an hour to do this, so let's have a look. This is what I did yesterday. He does that stretch into that squash position, down before he does the little pa out, and then we leave him back in his normal position at the end. So what I want to do is make sure that I've got all of the keyframes down, so that tomorrow hopefully I'll be able to get into just breaking those up a little bit. Hey guys, so as I continue to post these videos, I'm going to be discovering the best way to produce them. So today I'm actually going to be talking over the sped up bits just to give you a better understanding of what I'm actually doing. Today is day 3 and I'm continuing to block out the basic animation. But if you're new to animation, you might be wondering what this actually means and why we do it. Well, there are 2 different ways to animate. The first is called straight ahead. Now this basically means going through and animating everything from frame 1, making sure that each minute movement feels good and polished before starting the next. It's a bit like going for a leisurely stroll with no real itinerary. Sure, you might have an idea of where you want to go, but you're allowing yourself the freedom to explore that journey with every step you take. And you might allow yourself to go down a completely different route than you initially expected. Now the opposing way of animating is called pose to pose. This is where you go in and pose out every acting beat. Once all of those key beats are posed, you will go in and fill in the blanks with breakdowns and eventually go in and smooth out the stepped animation. This style of working is more like going for a walk with carefully planned milestones in mind. It will take 5 minutes to walk to the cash machine and then 5 minutes to walk to the takeaway. There's an off license along the way, so pick up a bottle of wine, that sort of thing. This is what I'm doing here. I'm blocking out the basic bones of the animation. Those key poses that are needed to be able to tell the story, even if that story is just a weird jump sort of thing. This tends to be industry standard. The blockout phase allows clients and directors to change their minds early in the animation process before a lot of the hard work is poured into it. And they will change their minds, even when the animation is finished. Clients will be clients after all. Now part of the process of blocking animation is the type of keys we use. Most people, not all, but most people will use a type of key tangent called stepped. This will keep the pose completely static until the next keyframe is hit. Then it will jump to that pose. When watched through, it looks like the character is just teleporting from pose to pose. Now the alternative is to have a smooth or linear key tangent and see the character animate from one pose to the next. Now though stepped animation may take a bit of time to get your head around, I find it actually gives a good understanding of my timing and the intentional poses that I've set in place, rather than seeing one pose glide to the next, which I find kind of muddies the waters a little bit. You might also be wondering if there's any point to doing a layout animation. In my first video, I spent about an hour animating a blob and didn't even touch the character. So what's the point? Well, when you have a complex body mechanics shot like this, where your character is performing some form of athletic feat, sometimes it's nice to test out your idea to see if it's actually going to work in the timescale you've given yourself. If we go back to the walking analogy I used before, the layout is like a roadmap. Something that gives you the knowledge of where the cash machine, takeaway and off license are meant to be. And it also allows you to get a feel for the final animation in such a quick amount of time. It's like rapid prototyping. It's not the final thing, but you get a good idea of what you're going to get at the end. I did the layout in about an hour or 2, and it looks polished. And that's because it doesn't have any of the added complication of an advanced rig. There are no arms or legs or tails to care about. And then when it comes to animating the character, I can effectively trace the motion created in layout, posing the character on top of my blob. Okay, that sounds weird, but I'm sure you get what I'm talking about. So, he stretches, goes up into that, down, bush, floats around, starts to make that land. Okay, maybe it's not too bad. Cool. So here he's definitely going to need a breakdown where it's like the squashed in. And there's plenty more to do to this. Anyway, that has been Tuesday morning. It's 9 o'clock. Now I need to go to work. Goodbye. Quick little shout out before I go. The music for this episode was by an artist called Shindig. There should be a link available in the video. Check out the stuff, it's really good fun. But yeah, cheers.